The weather in Northern Ireland is pretty crap in general, but especially when it comes to this time of the year. So much so that it's just literally started raining as I've tried to record this. Apologies for that, by the way. They're building houses out the back, and they've been doing it for about a year and a half now, and it's beginning to get on everyone's collective tits, so apologies. But apparently this weekend is supposed to be relatively tolerable, so what better way to spend the last good weekend of the year flying around a track on a iconic late 90s, early 2000s sport bike. So yeah, let's go and have a look at what we'll actually be riding. It's garage is this way, I think. God almighty, I really need to tidy up this garage. Yeah, this is it. This is my 1999/2000 Yamaha R1. If you saw my last track day video, this is the steed that I was aboard. I realised I hadn't shown it to you, so here it is in all of its unwashed glory. So apart from the plethora of other excuses that I used in that video for being very slow, the main issue with this bike was there was an issue with the carbs. The bike was very boggy in the low end. She wasn't pulling as she should have been. So the carbs came out, they were given a thorough clean. The O-rings were replaced in the fuel rail because she was leaking a little bit of fuel. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that is what the problem was, and that fixes the issue. So there's only one way to find out if it's working, and that's to throw her on the back of the van and take her down to the track. Let's do that. So welcome back to Kirkistown, near the gloriously named town of Portavogie. Hourly pleasing noise. Yes, it's future me who is also in the past, which is quite the unique dichotomy. I was going to put the mic inside the helmet, but I didn't do that because I just didn't. So you have to settle for this now, which is unfortunate for all of you. So yes, this was the 4th session of the day, I do believe, and of course it happens to be my worst session of the day, because that is how these things work. So that's the first excuse out of the way. There will be plenty more of those coming, so don't worry if for fans of lies, your lust will be satiated. Yes, Kirkistown, a great little circuit. If you've never done track day before, I would highly recommend choosing Kirkistown, because it's got a little bit of everything. It's flat. There's no elevation changes, so you don't have to worry about that. There's flip flops. There's hairpins. There's long sweeping corners. There's two long straights that you can really open the taps up. So yeah, to learn on, great place. Really, really good. And the company that runs this particular track day, Kirkistown Track Days, we've never had any issues with them. They've always been very accommodating. They run a really good event, and yeah, there's never been any issues. 120 quid for the day. That gets you 6 sessions at 12 minutes a go, so you can't really be bad to that. Trust me, after about the 3rd or 4th session, you start to feel it a bit, and you question, why did I have that 4th Kit Kat that morning? So this fella in the Gixxer has just come past me out of Debtors, which is the name of that first corner, which used to have a big dip in the middle of it, which was a bit of a pain in the arse, but they've resurfaced it. That's a lot handier to get through now. That's Colonials 1 out of Colonials 2, coming down in towards Fisherman's, which is a very awkward corner. It's got a very late apex, which I am nowhere near, which will be a theme of this particular session. No apexes were harmed in the making of this video, if you were worried about that. Coming through the Crossall chicane onto the back straight, coming up to Maguire's hairpin to end the lap. Now I'm going to shut up for a second because something quite frightening happens here. Yeah, we went full Brad Binder there. We had a bit of a lock up, and my rear tire was not very happy. My brother, who was actually behind me in this session, he's out on his R1, He very much enjoyed the show. He said it reminded him of that bit in Stars in Your Eyes when people come out looking like a waxwork of the person they're supposed to be impersonating. So we're into a little bit of traffic here, which is always good. It's nice to have something to focus on. As I'm going to go around the outside of this fella. Have some of that. You've been passed by me. How embarrassing for you. Yeah, I like to have someone in front of me. It gives me someone to focus on and to kind of, yeah, like I said, to focus on. I can't really think of the words because I can't words. I find if I'm riding around on my own, I kind of sort of go into autopilot a bit, and you sort of, the mind starts to wander a tad. But when you're trailing someone, it gives you a bit of, something to work towards. So we come into the top hairpin again. Hopefully this time we'll keep both wheels on the floor. There we go. Look at that. He's learning. God bless him. He's learning. So yeah, we got very lucky with the weather. It was the last really good day of October. So while a lot of it there he is. There's the brother on his blue R1, just about to throw it up the inside, but he did not. I don't know if that was down to me blocking him off in a very horrible way, or if he just thought I'll give him a bit of an ego boost and let him see if he can stay in front of me for a bit. He is considerably easy up there, fella. I will admit he is faster than I am, partially because his bike actually works. Turns out, yeah, what we thought when we thought we'd fix the issue, turns out it fixed it. She was running better, definitely, but definitely not up to where she should be. When you compare it to what the other R1 that we had along with us, how it was running. So yeah, it was a bit disheartening. So we'll have to. But that's what the winter's for, to try and figure these things out. Now this hairpin gave me a bit of oh, there we go. We're locking up again. Good luck. He hasn't learned, clearly. Yeah. It gave me a bit of bother. I think I was in the wrong gear there. That's my first excuse out of the way for the day. And there he goes on his blue R1 flying right on the inside of me, the bugger. And he's away down the road. And yeah, there's that little Moto 3 bike that's come past me is Kira Cahoon. She's 15 and she is an absolute demon. She is incredibly fast. Look, she's just carving through the field. Yeah, 15 years old. She is definitely one for the future. So watch out for her name popping up in the British scene in the coming years. She's terrifying. It really puts you into perspective. Someone who's 20 years my junior is that much better and that much faster than me. It's quite chastening. But yes, anyway, as you can see, everyone has kind of started to bugger off away from me. I'm going to blame the bike and not, because then that means that I don't have to blame myself, because why would you want to do that? That means you have to take responsibility for your own awfulness. But yeah, like I say, this hairpin gave me a lot of bother throughout the day. I think this is another instance where I went in, she popped into neutral, which was infuriating. I had to pull off to the side of the track there just to kind of get out of the way in case anyone was behind me. Yeah, that was embarrassing. This is why I was annoyed that this was the session that I chose to stick the camera on. Yeah, not great. Not a great look. And now I'm just a bit kind of a combination of embarrassed and a bit pissed off. So yeah, I've got a bit of a point to prove to myself. Yeah, that was not great. Although I do get into a bit of a battle with this lad, so that's something at least. Yeah, the first session that we went out on this, it was like a bloody MotoGP grid. It was absolutely rammed with people. I thought, bloody hell, this is a bit sketchy. So much so that they actually held us for a good 5-7 minutes before we went out. I don't know if something had happened in the previous session or if they were just thinking, oh Jesus, maybe there was a health and safety regulation or some nonsense. But then you're flying around a racetrack on a bike. It's the health and safety kind of there's only so much you can do in that regard. Yeah, this bloody hairpin. I'm slowing up way earlier now. Yeah, because I've got not the fear, but I'm I've kind of psyched myself out of getting around that in any way, of getting around it in any sort of, you know, decent manner. And we'll chase this fella and see how we get on. But apart from that, I was quite happy with. I was definitely felt a lot faster, which is good. There was a track day that we had done in between this one and the last one that had gone up, or the one that's in the previous video. So definitely felt a lot better. And there's going to be a few more coming next year, hopefully, now that my financial situation is a bit more secure. Because certainly, I not to brag or anything, but I bought a house this year, and that's taken up most of my time, effort, and cash, as you can imagine. So hopefully next year that will be rectified. The dad and the brother went to Anglesey last year, so I'd like to go there, because apparently it's proper good. Unlike my ability to ride a motorcycle. It's only when you look back on this you realise I could have braked later, I could have done this, I could have done that, but it doesn't. It looks a lot closer when you're actually there. The camera doesn't really do justice to how close you are to. Like, for example, coming up here, it looks like I'm braking a mile away from the corner, which you know, a lot of people would say that I am. Well, on this occasion I actually did, but it feels a lot closer when you're actually out there. There's another. I'm going to get another excuse out of the way here, because that's what I do. My right foot peg started to come loose, which obviously isn't great whenever you're trying to use your rear brake. And I use a lot of rear brake, more so than I thought I would, coming in when I'm slowing down to come into when I'm banging down through the gears. So yeah, that was a bit of a shock whenever I realised it wasn't where I left it, and I was looking down looking for it, and I couldn't feel anything, so I had to slam on the front brake at some point. But anyway. I'm going to shut up for a minute or two here, which is probably good for all of you, and just let you listen to the sound of the bike for a couple of laps. So yeah, it sounds better than I do, so enjoy. I'm pretty sure that's the end of the session. I think I saw the checkered flag there. Yeah, because everyone's slowing up. So yeah, there we go. That is another mediocre session at Kirkistown. Like I say, this was the worst session of the day. The first session was actually probably my best. I did have a bit of a grass tracking excursion at that chicane earlier in the day, coming out of Colonials 2. Got it a bit wrong and ended up on the grass, and was going back to the motocross days of my youth. But everything was fine. There was no incidents on the day, which is good. Everyone who, as far as we know, everyone who turned up got home again safe and sound, which is the most important thing on a day like this. Of course, everyone goes to have a bit of crack. No one's there to end the day in the back of an ambulance. So all good on that front. And yeah, definitely can't wait for all of you who ride your bikes during winter. God bless you, because I'm not one of them. My MT-09 is sat firmly in the garage, and the car is the workhorse over these horrible months. So yeah, she's parked. Both of them are parked in the garage now, and that's where they will remain until the one day of sun that we're going to get next year in this country. So yeah, that's an unfortunate. There he is. There's the brother and his nice shiny blue R1. But yeah, that's another session done at Kirkistown. Give it a go if you're thinking about it. The only way to know is to go out and do it. There'll be novice sessions. There's no rush. Do it in your own time, and you go as quick or as slow as you like. But yeah, thank you so much everyone for watching, and I'll see you at some point, I guess.